So dear Dhamma friends, that yesterday we was talking about the health, and today we're going to talk about happiness. Arogya paramalabha santupti paramandana. So the happiness is very important thing for our life. And according to Buddhism, that the attaining to nirvana is the most highest place in happiness. Eradicating all the suffering, and once you achieve to the ultimate, the bliss of the Nibbana is the highest place. And before you attain to Nibbana, in day-to-day life, we have to understand how we can slowly start to accumulate the right happiness to us, because it leads us to the highest place. So the happiness is like joy, bliss, well-being, success. This everything, in the surface level, in conventional truth, this all belong to the happiness. That in conventional truth, with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, if he become completely satisfied, so then the people say he's happy. But there is a problem come with this joy that we normally think in day-to-day life. Because once you become happy, or if you that try to be satisfied with your eye, the thing is, it's for a moment. It's for a moment. That in the Buddhism, it is nothing wrong with that. You can be with your eye. Be happy with your eye. Be happy whatever you hear. Be happy with whatever you smell. You have to be happy whatever you eat. The whatever the sensation, bodily sensation, and the mental ideas. It's nothing wrong with if you become happy with that. But the important thing is, if you start to remind it again and again and again, it start to develop our cankers, asravas, mental formations inside us, and it start to become like memory. That memory help you to make strong your attachment. Once your attachments become strong, this becoming happening again and again and again. Repetition happening again and again and again. So then you have to be very careful when you become happy with your eye. If you see something, it's nothing wrong. If it is beautiful, it's nothing wrong with that. You have to see that beauty. If you hear something nice, and you have to enjoy that. Nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, the most of people stuck with their memory. They cannot go beyond that memory. So then this how we can earn the happiness. In one way the happiness is sometimes it's a relative. According to the place, time, situations, culture, country, and sometimes it's different. And sometimes in another country that the people become happy doing something, and somewhere else, in another culture, it's a very painful thing. And other thing is, when you accumulate the joy through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, what is happening from the other side, if your mind is not develop the wisdom to understand what this is, you develop the anger also from the other side. Why? If you are become so happy, if somebody come and disturb to that, what will happen? So when you develop the joy with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, when you become happy with that, you have to be very careful that if you develop from the other side anger, then it takes you to somewhere else. So that's why then how we can earn this real happiness. So the very important thing is that whatever you see through your eye and whatever you hear through your ear and whatever the smell comes to your nose and whatever the taste comes to your tongue, whatever the sensations come to your body and whatever the thoughts come to your mind, create some biochemical energy inside. It called rasa. As example, when you eat something, there should be some taste. Otherwise, you cannot, eat that. To eat that food, there should be some taste. It called rasa. And that taste creates some biochemical electricity inside you. And the sound, when the sound comes, that sound does not leave you there. It creates some biochemical electricity inside. And then whatever the smells come to you, as example, if every day, the unpleasant or the bad smell come to you, keep coming, it can make you sick. But if something good smell comes to you, it can make you healthy. And it can calm you down. As example, music. And if you every day listen to, the hip hop or rap music, your whole system will start to get fast. And then you sit for meditation. No, this is go like roller coaster. Then see that whatever you heard, it creates some energy inside you. We call it rasa, satisfaction. It leaves something there. And the other thing is that whatever you eat, it creates some energy inside. And whatever the sensations, every day, like as example, if you associate every day that unhappy people, unpleasant people, you don't like to stay with that people, it can make you sick. So how it can happen? Because the mentally, it creates some biochemical electricity inside you, which harmful to you. That's called rasa. It can be poison maybe. And the thought also the same, that every day if you think something, and sometimes the good ideas can make you healthy. That's why when when people in critical situations, we go and please them, we don't tell them, very hard or the bad things. We always say nice things, because that words can heal them. If the person, lying down on the bed and going through hard time, if you go and, tell something, then people can die. So there is a story during Buddha's time that Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, they had a very good, family life. They had no any argument or no any problems in life. Unfortunately, it is in the history. so somehow that this Nakula, this person, one day he was so sick, and the wife came to him and told that you don't worry about me. You now have to take care about you. I have my children and I had a good life with you. So don't worry about me now. So try to prepare yourself to have a calm mind and be ready to go. Don't worry about us. Don't think about us. Somehow we can manage our life. We have children now. They will take care about me. Like that. So when that wife tells to the husband like that, he got healed and he recovered himself. And the very next day, he stand up, and start to talk nicely. Why? Because mentally he became more relaxed. If the wife came and told, oh, don't die, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you didn't finish this one, how if you die, how I can live like this, when the very next day he will die. See this, that the words you, talk can create the energy inside. It can be, maybe poison. At the same time, it can be like medicine. So the rasa means that everything has a quality. If that quality, bring us the satisfaction, to our body, we call it good for the rasa, happy for the joy. If that quality bring us the sadness or the worry or the illness, we say it is not good. So through the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, so whatever you get, there is a, that the rasa. So then it's go to your blood. That satisfaction. It may be happy or unhappy. It's go to your blood. And through the blood, it's go to your fat, your muscles, your bones and bone marrows. And through the bone marrows, it go to your reproductive cell. You know? That's the way that whatever you ate yesterday, it can make you today healthy or sick. So satisfaction is very important in the surface level. You have to be satisfied, intelligently, not habitually. As example, when you eat, you have to be satisfied with the taste, with the quantity, with the quality, with this everything you have to be satisfied. Otherwise, it can make you sick. It is an art. That's why when you, even it is a healthy food, that's why we have a culture. You don't eat with, wherever, cook it, and you take it to the plate and you sit somewhere, you take a little bit time, and you with the, other people, and you keep a glass of water close to you, and it creates something and discipline around you, and it creates that this everything become art. That background create a satisfaction inside you. That it is just not only then food for your body. This eating means it become a food for your whole life. Then you learn when you go out. When you go out, and if you have to eat, then you follow that discipline naturally. Otherwise, if you don't practice like that discipline, take that person, somewhere for a party or somewhere, and you will see naturally he go and the way he eat. Because he don't know, he didn't practice like that. Then what is happening, that his life becomes something else. Then himself he become unhappy, and as well as the society become unhappy about it. So that you have to tune to this, the nature. Then you can just, it is just not only, the food then. It creates some satisfaction inside. As a family, everybody can eat somewhere else, but it not make satisfied you. For sure, as a mother, as a father, as children, as parents, as friends, sometimes you have to, once you find something, you have to, share it with others. And even you eat it, maybe you don't feel that what is the good taste, because you couldn't share it sometimes. Then you forget the food and you start to think about something. So don't think that the rasa means the satisfaction mean. It is just, the outside. No, it is more, inside. The mentally you have to achieve it. So, but unfortunately, most of the world think, most of us think that the satisfaction means sometimes we accumulating these physical things, for eye, accumulate lot of, things to see, and for ear accumulate lot of things to hear, for nose accumulate, a lot of smells, aromas, perfumes, and to eat lot of food. If I have a lot of food, myself, oh, I am happy, and for the sensation, bodily pleasure, and he can be happy wherever he go, so people think like, but it is not. They become a prisoner to that then, so then it is not become a, the happiness, because one day he become paralyzed without that things. Then how he can be happy? So then you have to be very careful yourself. Actually, you become happy in day-to-day life, or you become a prisoner day-to-day life. So then how you can really accumulate the happiness? There are two kinds of happiness you can do. And sometimes people become happy in conventional through accumulating things. You need to have necessary things, when you have a social life. You have to have money, you have to have wealth and, other necessary things. And nothing wrong with that. Even if you, rich, if you become a billionaire, nothing wrong with that. If you have, many things physically, nothing wrong with that. If the person understand this everything possible to change. And if the person not attached to that, and if the person ready to, use it when the necessary times come, nothing wrong with it. That is the real humble means. Sometimes people thinking this humble means, wearing very, simple, not to show like, and he even though he is rich, he become like, he come to the society like a poor man. You think it is humble? No. If the person, he is, wealthy, nothing wrong with that. If he not attached to his own, money or his wealth, but he understand this is, not belong to me like this way. I have to use it, and when the necessary, situations come, he use it and share it with others. That is, become real humble. Otherwise, you think these poor people, and they are really humble? No. And sometimes that when you go to give food for these homeless people or poor people, and sometimes you have to bring the police also. Why? Because they are fighting. Because inside the hunger, just not only for food. Even they get one the rice packet. No, that's not enough for them. It is because inside not satisfied. Then you think that the people wearing very dirty and become very simple, look like innocent and but he's rich, and then you think he's humble. No, it is ignorance, because he don't know how to use his wealth. That when the necessary things come, he need to use the wealth, not to hiding and keep, for himself and for the society. Then if he knows that everything, this is impermanent and this is the way it should use, and he use it, then he become really, good person. Then he can find the satisfaction through that. Then he can be happy through this material life. So otherwise, just accumulating this material life, it is not happiness. He create a prison himself. In that mean, it create unhappiness. So sometimes people think this is happy, but unfortunately what they earn the unhappiness. Why? Because it is ignorance. They don't know how to. So there are ways you can accumulate things, and that way you can be happy. But there is another way Buddha mentioned. Letting go, giving up, practicing generosity, also you can earn the happiness. How? As example, that you have something to be happy yourself. Then you say, I have this one within me. As example, this cushion, then I say, this is belong to me. I have this. It called Atti Sukha, because I can be happy, oh, I have a cushion here. No, nothing wrong with that. Hmm? And that also happiness. And sometimes people think, oh, I have this, and they can make a list and they can be happy. But in Buddhism, there is another way. This happiness, it's always depending with this cushion. Okay? When the cushion is not there, then what will happen to me? I become worried. I become unhappy. That it is, not forever. It's for a short time. But using this one, I can earn the eternal happiness. How? If I, give it to someone who looking for a cushion, then it is not anymore belongs to me. Then I give it, but I earn something inside me to keep as a memory. That whenever I think about this, and I become happy inside. That happiness is something else. And once you start to earn like that happiness, it's like seeds, and like the banyan trees, it start to grow inside you. If you start to accumulate, that way also you start to accumulate. See, sometimes people, they go outside, they go out, somehow they bring something. It is useless, but they want to bring it because it became a habit. They become happy with that, and wherever they go, they bring something and they keep it. Some people, wherever they go, they give something. Whenever time comes, they give something. Look at these two natures. If the person start to collect, this whole world is not going to be enough. And if the person start to give, even finally he become, he ready to give this head to toes whole body even. So any body parts even he can give. That way it becomes strong like that. But if you start to collect, it goes to other way. If he start to give, he give everything, even his own body also. There are people like that. So you have to be very careful. Then the happiness means you're going to accumulate things and you're going to collect things, and finally, rather than be happy, you become a prisoner to that. Then one day you have to be worried. So then how you can really find out if something with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, if you collect something, it should be that it need to create a satisfaction inside you. But that satisfaction, you have to bring it to another level. How you can bring it to another level means sharing, practicing generosity. Then you become happy, and as well as you sharing and you make other people happy. That life, it's nothing wrong. And if it is not based with the greed, hatred or the delusion, if it is always based with the loving kindness, generosity, compassion and the wisdom, that the person who really can earn happiness. Even it doesn't matter this, the physical world. There is nothing wrong with this, thing. And sometimes people escape from this, everything. And sometimes people close their eyes, to detach from the world. But inside, once you close your eyes, you can see real pictures here. Huh? Very beautiful, huh? Even outside you cannot find. Huh? So then how it can work? Hmm? And sometimes people don't touch money. Money, nothing wrong with the money. It is just paper. Hmm? The way we use it changes. So then just detaching from this material world is sometimes not going to work. For some people it can work if there is a good guidance, if there is a good purpose. But in the society, you have to have these things. You cannot escape from this. Every day new things come. You cannot escape from this gadgematic world. Huh? You cannot escape from, this colorful world. But it better you understand how to deal with these things. Then how you can deal and how you can be happy, find the right satisfaction, find the right joy, and as well as once you find and enjoy it and share it with others. In the conventional level, that is, you can deal with this whole material and you use this everything and you become happy with that, and as well as you use it for you make other people happy. And then it's good for you and it's good for society also. In the conventional truth, that is true. In the eternal truth, and inside you, once you start to develop this giving up, that it creates empty space inside your mind, and it releases your mind from this attachment. And little by little, once you start to share, it develops your inside freedom. With that freedom, once you start to practice the meditation, and then your mind start to become sharp to see how things come to be as they are. As example, without this physical happiness, without this physical material success, the life becomes so hard in life. As example, if you have personal problems in your life, with your family, when you come to meditation, if you don't if you are not a good trainer, how you can focus your mind to techniques, how you can achieve the result. So then, as a husband, as a wife, as a children, if you have done your duties, and as well as if you are satisfied yourself, when you sit for meditation, it works. Why? This mentally you become happy inside. So otherwise, if you are mentally lack of happy with this life, what is happening? It develop inside your greed, hatred, delusion. So then you have to be very careful. You cannot escape from this, and also you cannot go too much to this way. So then with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, when you accumulate things to be happy yourself, be satisfied, and as well as don't repeat again and again, just move forward. And at the same time, if you have a chance, share it with others. And also it should be, good for you and good for others. How you can find that? If it is not based with the greed, hatred or the delusion. Delusion in the conventional ways, what is the delusion mean? You don't know what it is. So, if it is based with the greed, hatred, delusion, then it's not going to work. Somehow, somewhere, it creates unhappiness. But if you find through your eye, ear, nose, body, mind, if you find something, and if you become happy with that, and that is based with the loving kindness, generosity, the wisdom, and even when you share it, it creates happiness inside. This way you create profitable skills to develop your life, with mindfully. That happiness will lead you to, in the beginning as I told, to that eternal happiness, which we call Nibbana. So to achieve to that day by day, through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you have to start to collect these little, happy things. With your eye, you have to start to collect, to see nice things. And that things you share it with others. You pass it to other people. And you, through your ears, you collect the knowledge. And as I told, the parato gosa prati, you always, srutamaya jnana, you develop always you listen to something and you collect good things, right things. It not make harm to you. It not break the law of nature. It always tune to the nature. You collect that and you experience it, and it make you, happy. And as well as you not keep it, hold it, and you pass it to someone else. And at the same way, even the smell, even the food, bodily sensation also the same. You have to find that the right things, which not break the law of nature. And as far as if you can continue that, that way you become safe, and you enjoy the life, and you're giving a meaning to your life, and also you share it with others. And mentally also the same. If you start to think, the ideas based with the greed, hatred, delusion, it slowly start to come as action, bodily, verbally actions. So thinking is action. So you have to correct it there before it come as a physical action. So then always you have to think good things. Then in the common sense, everybody knows what is good, what is wrong. So you have to always tune your mind to the right thing. Then slowly later, when your mind start to develop your mental capacity deeper, you can go and select why this is right, why this is wrong, how it can be wrong, how this can be wrong, like that. But in the surface level, you don't need to go that much argument. You see what is right in the society, and you see why it is right. Okay, follow that in the beginning. Without following that, if you try to argue, how it can be right, you cannot see it. It's like before you climb the mountain, you try to see the landscape. No, just follow this way, and then you start to see why it is right. So as a husband, as a wife, as a children, once you become, the surrender to your identity, and once you follow that, then you become happy there. Once you earn that happiness there, and slowly you can go deeper to the next level. So try to start, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind to collect that happiness. And then when you remind, you see, oh, I have done something good. Oh, I have saw something good. And oh, I have heard something good. So like that, try to collect little by little. It's not easy way, but you have to keep trying. You cannot give up this. Especially once you know, you cannot give up this, and slowly start and try to accumulate, enrich inside you with this all good qualities, and slowly then you will see one day it will feel right. So is there any questions, please?
The delusion that you said, we don't see the truth. Could you explain?
That the delusion means you don't see how these things happening like this. How this become like this way. You have no idea. Then then you start to create things maybe inside you. Because you don't know how this really happening. Maybe you start to follow something else.
Could you give an example?
It's like this, as example, that when you drive your car, if you know the mechanism of the car, there is no problem. But if you don't know anything about the engine and you drive your car, there is a sound car, and then you start to call to people, and people, many people say, oh, this should be like this, and then you start to think about that, and another person say, oh, that should be like that, then you start to think like that way, then you heard to many people and you start to follow that way. It's like people don't know what is this life, and they going to many religions or many factories, and they following like that. But once you learn, or once you clearly understand what this is, and what is happening, then the problem inside you start to go away. Because now you know how this is happening. Then even some people start to say, hey, this is like, then you say, no, it is not like that. It is this.
Let's say somebody has a problem. Then he doesn't look what was the cause, real cause of that, and just blaming others, just imagining that happened, this happened.
Yeah, that's right.
So I had a bad teacher when I was small, and that's why I'm not. So that's delusion.
Delusion. So you have to go to the depth of the
cause.
Cause. The most of times see how the doctors examine, and even they maybe 100% not become success, but they try to find out the cause. Maybe not the everyday, but somehow they try to find out the reason, and once they go to reason, and they understand, okay, this is the reason it happened like this way.
For some people, let's say, for example, they say, oh, I have a pain here, I have a pain here, I have pain here. Some kind of delusion. That could be another example. That they are just thinking they are sick, but they are not physically sick.
No.
But they are just imagining.
Once it start imagining, it become,
this is thinking, but physically they are okay.
Yeah, mainly that the delusion is, ignorance. Ignorance means they don't know how things come to be, how these things happening like this. But once you know how this is happening,
So delusion and ignorance is related.
Yeah, related. Okay, we do loving kindness meditation for a moment ourselves.